Welcome to my channel, Katie's Created to Create. Today I am going to be playing with my sock machine. I am going to try to get 5 pairs of socks out of 500 grams of active sock yarn and 100 grams of active contrast yarn for heels, well not heels, toes and cuffs. I probably won't do heels. These were supposed to be Christmas presents for my husband and my sons, but due to an illness, I am a little behind schedule, so they'll be after Christmas presents for my husband and sons. But I thought it would be fun to record some footage of me making the socks. So I have already done a gauge swatch and calculated the foot rows that I want for each person and the leg rows and that kind of stuff. So all we have to do is knit. As soon as I find my cast-on bonnet. Oh, there it is. I'm going to knit these on 72 cylinder because they're for growing boys. And they all have really big feet. My husband has size 13. My 15-year-old wears, I think, an 11. And my 13-year-old wears a 12. And my 11-year-old wears a 10. And my 9-year-old still in kid sizes for now. So, but yeah, they all have big feet. The only way I would knit them all yarn and socks is on the machine. I did knit my husband a couple of pairs of socks by hand prior to having a machine, but not very many. Alright, we need some waist yarn. And this is, you know, daylight hours, and my family's up running around the house, so you're gonna hear them. That's just all there is to that. I'm using my medium weight. It's on a pretty loose tension, not quite the loosest, but almost the bottom of the third line, which is a pretty loose tension. Somewhere I have mislooped something, I think. Yep, right here.
Got it cold. Got one.
I recently learned to do a shorty sock with a pull tab heel, but I think for today I am going to be knitting full-size socks for everybody. I don't know, I may ask Levi. He might like a short sock better. He doesn't like socks, he says. He doesn't wear them very often, so I don't know. I make him socks anyways, because you know, every now and then it's cold enough where he'll wear one. But this is my kid that wears shorts no matter what. So. It's been really cold here, but it actually warmed up today. This waist yarn is getting pretty old. I may need to retire it soon. Okay. So after the waist yarn, I don't don't use a lot of weighted clips in the beginning. I usually just take the weight out and tuck the ends in, and then the weight acts as a weighted clip without having to. I have them, I don't know, don't ever use them that much. I put the weight back in and it holds everything down. Oop, I got a couple of them that didn't knit for some reason right here. No big deal. Just knit them over.
I don't know. I think I want to smoke it. Smoke everything.
My husband's talking about meat, if you can hear him. He's going to smoke some meat for dinner, I think. All right. So we're actually going to begin with the cuff. So I want the contrast yarn for this first bit. And I'm not going to do it through the heel spring because I'm not going to be doing any short rows. It's just going to be a hung hem. So it doesn't need to go through that. I have turned on my row counter and I'm going to do 30 rows and then I'm going to hang the hem. Oh, I missed the first. Oopsie. I missed the first needle somehow, but again, no big deal. I can do it by hand.
I changed my hat, I changed my socks, and I changed my shoes.
Yeah.
I haven't changed my shoes.
There we go. And it's knitting pretty nice and smooth. Now we're ready to hang the hem. 30 rows, so take the weight out.
Bundle, I was looking, I have 600 CP, but it costs 400.
Gonna get a drink of water here. Let's see. So the thing about this is gonna be careful that you don't dislodge the stitches that you already knit while you're pulling up the hem, which is usually the thing I have the most trouble avoiding for some reason. I don't know why it's always difficult for me. But just gonna watch them. And I just hang the hem all the way around.
I didn't get enough time. Yeah, I guess it's like this. The procrastinator. Alright, I'll catch you later.
It's a little bit warm in my hat and my sweater. So I'm going to take that off. It was cold earlier, but I'm warming up.
But my blanket's so warm. Actually, it's your blanket.
Are you using my blanket in there?
Yeah, your elephant blanket.
My elephant blanket?
It was handy.
It's recording, just so you know.
Okay.
The bread's in the oven.
So no dad jokes?
You can make dad jokes if you want.
No fart jokes?
Preferably no fart jokes.
Okay. That's good, I'm fresh out. Okay. think we got?
Some kind of roast. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing if my hand's in the way, I guess.
Michael's saying I need to air fry him. He said you will not be disappointed.
Try it. He air fries an entire roast?
He did.
How long did it take?
I don't know. I don't know that his was bone in either.
Yay! Son just gave me his wallet. Now
So
I'm
we
gonna
got a rump roast and a chuck roast.
They have a bone in them?
The rump roast does.
Well, air fry the one without a bone and
Chuck roast
smoke
has a
the
bone too.
Oh, I don't know then.
Whoa, this is probably the only dentist I've ever had. The only dentist I've ever had that.
Hun, is my light on the most over there? Can you tell?
Well, you've got a burnout light bulb. The one right over you, but yes, it's all the way on.
All right, thank you. Well, I usually work with that ring light right over my cylinder too, but I can't do that in film. Otherwise, it washes out the yarn and you can't tell what's going on in the cylinder. So I had to kind of set it off to the side. So you go as far as you can, and then you kind of have to keep your finger over these beginning stitches so they don't get popped off when it comes around there, because I can't put my weight back in yet. So what I usually actually do is 31 rows in the cuff color, because I won't switch to the leg color until all of this hem is hung. So it'll go around one more time. As you can see, it's nice and loose. It's very easy to hang the hem. All right, and there, so all of them are hung, and I can put my weight back in
Here.
with care. And I go slowly this first round because I want to make sure everything's catching and all of my hooks are opening back up. And then I can stop here. I'm going to use these beautiful scissors that came in my Blanket of Knowledge December subscription box. I love these scissors. Cut that off. One fun thing is that I can just wind that cuff like right on into, or that end right on into the leg. I don't have to. Honey, you like the length I've been making your socks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're making them about the same length as your foot. That's what I've been doing. So my cuff actually wound up being about 31 rows. His leg is going to be 70. So I reset my counter to count the leg rows. I'm going to put the yarn in. I'm actually going to take my weight back out so I can use it to hold down the end of my yarn again. A little bit easier. Alright, and then I'm going to actually thread both of these through my yarn feeder. And that way it's going to knit the tail of my orange yarn into the leg, and at least it'll be one less thread to worry about later. Alright, so now I'm just going to go 70 rows for his foot. I'm actually going to put my yarn down on the floor. I find that it feeds a little smoother if I have a little more distance rather than right behind my yarn mat. sorry?
Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Why are you singing Row, Row, Row Your Boat?
I'm giving you a sea shanty to work to.
That's a sea shanty? Okay, just like that. Get in there. There you go. 70 leg rows. And hun, did you like the fit of the last heel? I've learned to make a deeper heel that would give you a little more stretch along that diagonal. Do you think you need it, or is it good the way it is?
I don't know. I haven't tried the new heel.
Do you want me to try the new heel for you?
Sure.
All right. So I'm not going to change colors for the heel because, just because I don't want to, quite frankly. It's easier not to. But I am going to make a slightly deeper heel for him. So I'm going to put down 2. Now because that, I'm going to basically be doing 8 extra heel rows. And so I'm going to actually decrease his foot rows by a little bit. I learned that this week. So I'm going to make this heel and I'm going to mark. I've been marking when I do the extra deep heel, I've been marking it with this color here, so I don't forget. So, ready for the heel. Now, I'm going to put on my heel spring. I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not. You see the heel spring? No. So I've engaged, I think you could see me engage it. I engaged the heel spring. And I'm going to begin the heel. I usually do the first 2 heel rounds without the weight. And then I put the weights on. So I love the new design for the Dean & Bean heel forks. They are way better than the original. Very glad I bought them. Set my weights in here. Alright. And then basically, as long as you make sure that first stitch catches, it usually is pretty easy. Now, if I miss the first stitch, it can cause all kinds of trouble. So I always make sure that first one catches every time I go around. I can see it's going to be needing to move my weight here because my first stitch is not knitting. You see how that one didn't knit at all. No big deal. I just knit it by hand, and I just need to move up my weight. That's all that means.
Oh, so the medicine?
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. And On these 72 cylinders, I have to move the weights up pretty frequently. When I run the 60 cylinder, which is what size I make my own socks, I don't have to move the weight as often for some reason. So I marked all of my cylinders according to the Dean and Bean instructions on their videos. So I'm aiming for these red target marks. That's when I'll turn the heel and go back the other direction. I need to move my weights up again because my first stitch is not catching up. That is the whole heel gone down to the like the base of the heel. So we're going to start going back the other direction now. So I have a ribber, but I still have not figured out how to get along with that thing. The ribber and I are not friends. I need to spend like a day just playing with it, see if I can get it figured out. Probably more than one day. But it's so hard for me to get patient with it when I know I can just do a hung hem and have a whole stockinette sock in a couple of hours. Makes me not really want to mess with fighting with the ribber. This colorway of yarn my husband picked out because he thought it looked kind of huntery, and it went with the bright orange. My heel fork didn't want to catch. There it goes. Bright orange heels and toes and cuffs. So I'm gonna get at least 5 for all the boys, and if I have enough yarn, I may make another one for me. We'll see how much yarn this uses up. I have some turquoise and white and orange yarn I can use for my own pair of socks if I don't have enough of this green to make mine match the guys. What I should have done is bought an extra ball of that orange yarn, and then I could have made my socks orange with green heels and cuffs. But I didn't think of that. So that didn't happen.
Are we out of salt?
We are out of salt, yes.
Coarse salt is it?
I think I wrote it on the grocery list.
Nope. I would.
Okay, sorry. I thought about writing it on the grocery list, apparently. Sorry, I've been making all that bread, and I doubled the amount of salt in the bread recipes because I didn't think her recipe had enough salt in it for me. Also, I'm using just regular table salt, and she was using sea salt, so sea salt might actually be saltier. I don't know. I know not all salt is the same saltiness. So lately, I've taken to making sourdough bread for my family. They seem to be liking it. I enjoy making it. I don't know if it's a thing I'll do when we're not on holiday because it takes a lot of time and there's a lot of having to keep track of where you are in the bread making process. But it's been fun for the last couple of weeks at least. I've made sandwich bread and cinnamon bread and several different kinds of sourdough bowls. All right, so on a normal heel, I would be done, but since we're doing the deeper heel for him with the, we're gonna go 2 extra needles around here. My husband has really big feet. You want to show everyone your big feet? I don't know how you're going to get them in the... You'd have to get them like right up here.
Nope, I can see
Are you them in the camera? There's his big feet. In case you were wanting to see that. I'm not really sure who in the world would want to see that.
There's some people who like that. I don't know.
Some people whose feet are their thing. Socks are my thing, not so much feet. All right, so that is the last heel row. So I'm going to go ahead, drop all that. I'm going to disengage my heel spring here. And now, like I said, I would normally do 77 foot rows, but because I made the deeper heel, I'm actually just going to do 70. And I like to start my toe color a little bit before I actually start the toe. So what I'm really going to do is probably about 65 in this green, and then do 5 more rounds in the orange before I actually do the toe. So I've reset my clock to 0, and I'm going to do 65 rounds. Oh, and there we've gone and dropped a stitch, which happens sometimes. So I'm going to stop and repair that. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but basically I've caught the run with this needle, and I'm going to put the hook, the latch hook down into it, hopefully. Maybe. Nope. That didn't happen like I intended. Try again. There we go. Okay, so I've got my latch hook in here. Fortunately, this was a leg or an instep or something. It's not part of the heel. That makes it a lot easier. If I drop the stitch in the heel, I usually cry, take it all off, and start over. But fixing one from here, that's not so bad. Pay better attention so I don't do that again. Oh, you know, part of the problem I'm being dumb is I forgot to take off my heel forks and reset my weight using my cable ring. That would make it a lot better. So I'm going to pull my weight out and use this cable ring to snatch around the bottom of the tube here. I'm going to slide it up, and then I'm going to stuff these extra heel rows into that cable ring and close it. Maybe. There it is. I'll reset my weight, and that should help with that. All right, so I've done 65 rounds. I'm going to bring my starter round back up here. And I am going to use my fabulous scissors. Cut the yarn. Set this aside. I'll tell you what, I have not used this active yarn before, but I really like how it comes already on a cone. Coning yarn is not my favorite. Well, actually, the orange stuff, the 100 grams, I did have to cone that. But the big 500 gram, it came already coned. So this is one time when I probably will use, well, you know what? I may just move my weight up. Do that real quick. Then I will have all the heel rows nice and tucked in below there anyway. So I'm going to do 5 rounds before I actually turn the toe. So it makes the toe look a little longer. And it makes it a little easier for me to Kitchener it closed in the end. Keep going to 70. Alright, so there I'm at 70. Now I'm going to do the toe. Engage my heel spring. What's beautiful, my sock or your meat?
My meat.
I'm sure it is beautiful. I'm just happy that I think I'll actually be able to taste it today. As opposed to the last few days when everything has tasted kind of funny because my head's been so full of stuff. Same thing with this yarn. I may have to set it on the floor. It just tends to get caught on the heel spring. Wait, right here. I don't know why. It just does. So if I set it on the floor, it just seems to be a little easier.
Where'd the funnel go?
The green funnel? I have no idea.
Oh,
I'm just trying to move my weights because my corner stitch didn't catch. One reason I like to change the color for the toe but not the heel is that it helps me remember what I'm doing, because I did make a sock the other day and I couldn't remember if I was working on the heel or the toe. That was kind of annoying. But if my heel is the same color as the rest of my sock and my toe is different, then that makes it a little easier. If it's orange, it's definitely the toe. If it's green, it's the heel. Whoop. That one did not catch. There we go. Fix that. Apparently I have to move my weights again. made quite a few socks on this the last few days. Well, the last week, off and on, when I wasn't too sick to sit upright. And so I took the whole thing apart and gave it a really good cleaning and a really good lubrication, and it's going really nice and smooth for me today. So I'm glad I did that. All right, and now it's time to go the other direction. Move up my weight here. Whoops. Make sure I don't bop any of these down. That's
Asher, turn it
not
down.
fun. So I have had my machine right at 6 months. I can make a stockinette sock pretty easily. I've managed to memorize how to do the heels and toes, and hang my hem, so I'm not having to look up those instructions. The only thing I haven't mastered, well, not the only thing, but the main thing I haven't mastered is that ribber. That thing and I, every time I get it out, all that winds up happening is a lot of stress and tears. I mean, I've managed to make a couple of things using it. It's just taken forever, and honestly, the last time I got it out, the socks I made on it, I probably could have hand knit them in the same amount of time it took me to do them on the ribbing machine. So that is just not good. I don't know how long it's going to take me to finish all these socks. I may record them all, but I may not, you know, I may speed up the playback or something so you don't have to sit through, I don't know how long this has taken me, but the real time of all 10 socks. That might not be very interesting. But hopefully you can kind of see my machine in action. Now, the number one thing that I tend to forget when I finish the socks, and these are basically finished for the moment, but what I tend to forget is to leave a whole yarn to Kitchener. I have a bad habit of cutting the yarn here and then going to Kitchener the toe and being like, ah, I don't have enough yarn. So I remembered this time to leave a nice long tail so I can Kitchener the toe. And I'm probably going to knit all the socks on the machine and then sit down later this week and just do a whole bunch of toes all at once. So this is just my waste yarn so I can get my machine off, or my sock off my machine. Tuck that in there. We don't need any more row counters for the time being. I will want some of these so I can mark that. So this is not part of the sock. This is just the waste yarn. And I usually just leave the heel forks on. That's what I've been doing. Instead of trying to move up my cable ring at the end here, I find it doesn't hurt anything just to leave the weights on while I get it off the machine. And I'll just take them off right at the very end. And this is one place where I usually have been putting one of my weighted clips. Just to kind of hold it together right there. So I'm just marking these corner stitches so that when I go to Kitchener, it's a lot easier. Oh, that was a pretty benign sock there. That didn't cause too much stress. Thank goodness. My waist yarn here is also getting a little old. I probably need to look at getting a new bit of waist yarn here pretty soon. I was just letting my yarn hang out on the floor, but I've started putting it in a bowl because I have a dog, and she's, well, we don't know what she is. She's a mutt, but she looks like she's some kind of shepherd mix or husky mix, and she sheds like crazy, and I started noticing dog hair was getting knit into my stuff. So I am setting this yarn on the floor, but it's actually in a bowl on the floor. I am going to go ahead and take the heel forks off at this point. Well, that one doesn't want to come off. 2 out of 3. There we go. And then it will just pop off. And there we have it. I have one sock for my husband's big foot. So take the cast on bonnet. I love these Dean and Bean cast on bonnets. They make getting started super easy. And I didn't have to knit them. I just bought them. So I've had this machine for, what I say, about 6 months. I think I got it at the end of June. And it is my Christmas present. So I have been spending my Christmas break, every minute that I haven't been deathly ill anyway, playing with it. And it has been wonderful. So there is a very big sock. And I will Kitchener this closed, and that will be the toe. And I'm going to go make 9 more of these. Okay, we're back. I have tried this sock on my husband and it fits perfect. So definitely we'll do a deep heel for him from now on. Before now, I basically just did a standard heel because I knew how to do it, and I was really concentrating on just learning to make the sock. Worrying about how to customize it was kind of low on my to-do list, I guess. But that was a really simple change that had a very good result. Fits him really well. I probably should have made the leg of his sock a little bit shorter. He has skinny ankles, and then his calves get really big really quickly. This sock may slouch a little. It's a little bit on the tall side for him. So next time I make socks, I'll make a mental note to make it about 10 rows shorter. But it'll be fine. Fit him well in the foot. just something so satisfying about pulling a ravel cord out. It just, oops, so nice and easy. All right, sock number 2. Now, I did not do anything to line these up, but I love it when the stripes match. And look at that. They just happen to match perfectly.
Again?
Well, maybe not perfectly, but
Close enough.
close enough. So there we go. That is the first pair. 2 out of 10. I got 8 more socks to make today. Well, I don't know if I'll get all 8 done today, but we'll see how far we get. Down, and I have 3 more pair to go. I'm going to take a break and go take my kids some clothes. Okay, for the last pair of socks, I actually have to change out the cylinder because it's for my 9-year-old son and he does not have big man feet yet. So I'm going to change to a size lower cylinder. I'm gonna go do some math and then we'll be back. Okay, last pair of socks. It is 9:33 and I have now knit 5 pairs of socks. So it's still kind of early, so I'm actually going to see if I can get my 6th pair knit tonight. And that will be 1 pair of socks for every member of my family knit in 1 day. I did not, full disclosure, I did not Kitchener the toes. I will make a goal of Kitchenering 6 pairs of socks toes for tomorrow. I'm real excited, y'all. I did really well. So, I did not actually do the math for my own pair of socks. So, I'm actually going to go do the math for my own pair of socks. And then I will come back and we'll knit the 6th pair of socks today. So now I know for next time I order, I do like this active sock yarn, and although my 500 gram cone is starting to be a little difficult now that it's smaller, for the most part this cone was really well wound and I didn't have a lot of trouble with it feeding smoothly at all. But I just need to remember next time, if I want to make matching socks for my whole family, I need 2 balls of contrast yarn. And truly, I don't know what I was thinking that 1 would be enough, because, I mean, it usually takes 20-ish grams, which would have been pushing it for 5, and there's 6 of us. So I'm not really sure what I was thinking. But next time I order from CSM Love, which is where I get this yarn, I will definitely get 1 500 gram cone for matching socks, as well as 2 contrast colors. And I'm seriously, not tonight, because this is definitely the last pair of socks I'm making tonight, but tomorrow, depending on how much I have of this green stuff, I may even see about making a pair of matching socks for my mom and my grandparents who live in Lindale with me. Well, not with me, but in town. You know, people I don't have to mail socks to. So, pretty excited about this. It's gone really smoothly today. I've had a couple of minor setbacks, but nothing major. I'm hoping everything recorded. As far as I know, it all recorded, but I haven't double checked really either, so hopefully nothing's missing. It is before midnight, and my last sock, my 12th sock of the day, is off the machine. So I am going to kind of regroup here and maybe change my setup a little bit since we won't need to see my sock machine anymore. And we'll talk about the day. There we have it. 6 pair of socks in one day. I think my previous record was like 3. All right, so let's recap today. I have knit 12 coordinating, if not identical, socks. So we have my socks here. And my youngest son's socks, he's 9. And then my 11-year-old's socks. These are for my 13-year-old who does not like tall sock legs. On the guys' socks, I did a 30-row cuff. I think in future a 20-row cuff would be plenty. This is my 15-year-old's socks. And my husband's socks. So, tomorrow I will be Kitchenering the toes of a lot of socks. And then maybe we can get a picture of all of my family wearing their matching socks. I'm really excited about that. I'm not exactly sure what the weight is of the cone, but I still have quite a bit of yarn left on the cone. So I may try to make my mom and then maybe my grandmother some matching socks also, because I want to use up all that green yarn. But if you've watched with us this far, thank you. We'll do some Kitchenering and then we'll see what the end results are. Okay, it's the next day. I have got all these socks to Kitchener. So let's get started. All right, so I have completely knit and Kitchenered and wove in the toes for the 5, see if you can see them all here, pairs of socks that I originally planned to do, as well as a 6th bonus pair. So I am really happy with myself. I've had Soccer Latte now for right about 6 months. I have learned a ton. I can produce socks fast and furiously and beautifully. So I'm gonna gather my family up and make them take a picture, and I'll put that up here. Thank you so much. If you have sat through this whole long video, I know I had 7 3/4 of an hour worth of footage from the knitting yesterday, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess I've got at least 2 more hours of Kitchenering the toe footage today, and I actually lost about 30 minutes. The second sock that I Kitchenered, somehow the video stopped recording and I wasn't aware. So I'm actually missing about 30 more minutes. So this is looking at like 7, 8, 9, 10 hours worth of video footage. I'm definitely gonna, you know, you're not gonna have watched that much. But if you are still watching with whatever it is I've put up here, thank you very much. I hope that you liked this. This is my sock machine playlist on my channel. It's everything is titled CSM and then something about it. If you like what I do here, please like, subscribe. I don't put up a lot of stuff specifically about my sock machine, but I do put up some stuff. And I am going to have, every month, there's a podcast episode where my mother and grandmother and I, or some grouping of the 3 of us, talk about what we've been knitting. That's our Created to Create playlist. And then I've got some other things, some books and some homeschool related stuff that if you're interested in, it's all divided up into playlists. You can find what you're looking for pretty easily. I hope you enjoyed it. I am really pleased with myself. I had a lot of fun making this video. By far, this is the first time I've done like a vlog style video where I recorded all this content and I'm just going to splice it together. So this is a new sort of territory for me. I hope you'll come back and watch some more of my channel. Thanks. Hey, all of this sock yarn got me thinking, if you are a sock knitter like me, whether you like to knit them by hand, which I do sometimes, or on a machine, which I do most of the time, you might be interested to know about Hot Springs Fiber Company's Sock of the Month Club. So every month, if you sign up for the club, you get a hank of yarn that is dyed to match a recipe for a comfort food, a stitch marker, a special cuff designed to go with the project, and maybe some other goodies, and I think a color photo. I'm not sure what the photo is going to be of. The club hasn't started yet. Its first month, I believe, is going to be in January. But I love Tracy's yarn and Hot Springs Fiber Company yarn. It's the best yarn there is, and I just felt like with all this sock knitting, I should definitely mention to you sock knitters out there that this is something you might want to look into. I'll put all the details for the Sock of the Month Club down below.